Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. This is part 3 of AMT's Star Trek USS Enterprise. Scale is 1 to 650. Now, even though I'm building this model, I'm doing my own take on it. So if you've seen parts 1 and 2, you'll know the general idea what I'm doing. So the title of the video is slightly different to what you'll see on the screen here as in the kit. This is just the kit that I'm using for the build. So I hope that explains what's going on. In this part, I'm going to be carrying on where I left off. So carrying on with the prep work before I can place in the lights. So let's jump into this and see how well I get on. My first job is to open up access area for some wires to pass through. Now this area is for the pylons or the struts for the nacelles, and the wire will be coming down into the hull from this point here. So I'm having to make a fairly large hole, but I'm trying not to make it too big because I still want the structure of this little box so that the root will connect quite snugly still to the actual struts of the pylons, because you don't want too much movement because that can end in a lot of trouble down the line. So it's important that you keep as much structural integrity as you can. And once both sides are done, I'm having to make the same access point at the top of the neck for where the saucer section comes down to receive the wires. So I'm just putting the two halves together and then just cutting out an area which I want to be removed to receive the wires. Now it's important to line them up properly before I do this, because again it's structural integrity. I don't want too much material removed, and as I said, the reason for that is I need as much bonding surface as possible. It is actually a very simple process. You know, it doesn't take that long to do, but as I said, you want to make sure you've still got quite a bit of material left. Don't be tempted to open a big, massive gap, and just so that you've got a little bit more room to play with. So it's back to the saucer section. Now I'll let the filler dry overnight. In part 2, you will see me fill it up. So I'm just removing the masking tape before sanding it down. Now I have to be quite careful here. Obviously, there's a chance that you might lift all your filler out, the actual area that you filled in. It shouldn't happen, but it does happen occasionally. So you just want to be wary of that. So just gently prise up your masking tape. If it does lift off, it probably means you haven't left it to cure long enough, hence why I left it overnight. And it's just a simple case of sanding down the raised area to the contours of the ship, and just using a wet and dry sanding paper for this here. I'm also sanding down a little part of the hull where I've noticed a little imperfection. So just gently sanding that down. Now it's always been my intention to reprime this anyway as part of the light blocking process. So it's not the case that I'm giving myself more work to do. I knew this was going to happen anyway. And of course, because I'm putting the lights in, light blocking is quite important. So now I'm going on to the buzzard collectors. Now, because this is an Oaken, it doesn't come with any clear parts. There's a little thing you can do here if you're putting lights through and you want them to shine. Now, the area where I want the light to come through, I'm not going to be putting any primer or light blocking on it. I'm going to leave it as a bare plastic so the light shines through. So the areas that I don't want the light to shine through, I'm just going to be blocking that first of all with black paint, and I'm going to give that quite a thick coat so that the light doesn't come through. Effectively, I'm using it as a primer. Now, the reason why I haven't primed this is because I don't want any paint to go inside the dome and be a chance of blocking off any light. Hence why I'm just painting this in. So now I'm on to prepping the lights. Now, as you can see there, I've already wired up a couple of strip LEDs, and I'm going on to the impulse engines now. Now, I've got a sweet wrapper here, and I'm just going to be using this inside the area where the impulse drive lights come on. This is just to give it a textured look, and it will sort of give it a feeling of movement. Now, ideally, I would have liked this sweet wrapper to be red, but I don't have any, so it's orange. So it doesn't really matter because I'll be putting a red light there anyway. But if you had a red paper, you could just put a white light and the red would shine through. It's a nice little trick, and it's a good way to create windows. And I'm just skewing it with a little bit of super glue, just laying it in, and I'll cut off any excess. A little bit more about the LED strip lights. Now, I haven't shown you me wiring those particular ones up because I've done it so many times on my channel now, and in fact I've got a dedicated video on how I wire these things up, so go and check it out if you're interested. It's just to save time why I'm not showing you it, but it's a fairly easy process. So there you can see the sort of amber colour coming through just with the sweet wrapper inside. Now, like a complete muppet, I forgot to paint the inside of the impulse drive, so I took the wrapper off and I'm painting it with Revlon Aquacolor 91 steel. Luckily, the wrapper hadn't quite set yet, so it was just a matter of lifting it off, and now I'm repainting the area inside. If I didn't, you would just see the white bit of plastic and it wouldn't look very good. Then once it was dried, I was able then to fit a new piece of sweet wrapper. I just recut one and put it on because the other one was I had a bit of the super glue on it, so it was just easy enough to cut a new piece and place it in. So again, it's the same process as I just explained, and you can see the colour coming through. As I said, I'm going to be putting in red LEDs for this anyway, and this is what I'm doing here. I'm just prepping them. This is a 3mm red LED or diode, and I'm just soldering in the resistor. Now I'm using a 470 ohm resistor. That's 470 OHM, and that should give me plenty of power for a nice glow. So once it's in, I'm just testing to make sure everything is going to be working fine, and you can see it coming on. It's not a powerful light, but it's enough to give the shine through. Then once that's all wired and happy with it, I'm just putting on some shrink sheath to tidy everything up. But now it's actually time to place in those lights. There's two of these little diodes that is going in. Now the red tape is a red electrical tape, and the reason why I put this down, you'll see it quite a bit used in this build, is two reasons. One, it's just to give me a marking so I know exactly where I'm putting everything instead of drawing in with pencil. And two, and this is the most important reason, that will stop light bleeding. So I'm not building up with massive amounts of tape. A little bit of electrical tape over the LED or onto the plastic will mean that I'm not getting any light bleed coming through any of the other areas, because the majority of this is going to be a white LED, so I don't want the red mixing in. And of course I'll be using the electrical tape as well, just to hold down the wires. It's important that I don't put them in permanent placement just yet, because it will be these will obviously be getting connected to other LEDs and so on. So until I've got the map completely sorted out, I don't know exactly how the wires are going to lie inside the saucer section. So it's just keeping it tidy, making sure things don't move overly much before everything is then secured into place for the final time. Then once both lights are in, it's time to test to make sure everything is working all right. So I'm just going to be placing on the outer part of the impulse, and I'll just secure that with a little bit of masking tape. I'm not attaching it just yet. And then I'll just connect it to the power just to make sure everything is working. Now this is a 12 volt volt I'm putting through, but you can see the red coming through. Obviously the other one's not on because it's not connected, but I'm quite happy with that. And now that I know the lights are working and in, I'm just putting a little bit of super glue over the actual connections of the LED itself. And now I'll put that part of the LED in secure in position. And when I start moving the wires around to connect them, I know then the actual LED itself will not move. And this is where we'll end part 3. I'm just going to be placing another light in here once I put this on, just to see how it's going to interact with the red and white. You know, again, it's just testing as I go along. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you go and check out the channel for my other builds. If you subscribe to the channel, and please do so, make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you'll be kept up to date, not only with this build, but all my future builds as well, of course. Hit the like button, don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.